Get ready. You're now tuned into the Fight God Show.
It's the Fight Gods. This ain't your normal. Fight hard. This ain't for mortals. Talking boxing, wrestling, and UFC, BKFC, MMA, and WWE. Fight Gods. This ain't your normal. Fight hard. This ain't for mortals. Boxing, wrestling, and UFC, MMA, BKFC, and WWE. If it's a fight, gloves on, fist tape to bare knuckles. The gloves come off when we break down the scuffle. The place to be when you looking for a rumble. We see legacies made and watch foundations crumble. Beat them clean. I ain't the one to mess with. I snap on the beat like I check the leg kick. Prodigies, who gon' be the next pick? Show the whole world something they can be impressed with. Fight Gods, this ain't your normal. Fight hard, this ain't for mortals. Talking boxing, wrestling, and UFC, BKFC, MMA, and WWE. Fight Gods, this ain't your normal. Fight hard, this ain't for mortals. Boxing, wrestling, and UFC, MMA, BKFC, and WWE.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fight God Show. I'm the Stash. I'm joined tonight, as always, by the one and only Willie G and our main man, Nico. Boys, how's it going tonight?
Yo, I fucking love that theme song, man.
That shit is fire.
It gets me hyped, man.
Yo, it's just like becoming our own thing, more and more.
Hell yeah,
I like it, man.
Yeah,
you're always up to something, Will.
Hey, bro, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to keep it funky and keep it fresh, man.
How you been doing this week, brother?
I've been doing all right, man. I got a big surprise for you guys here in a few minutes. Maybe not a big surprise, but a surprise. I'm hyped about it, bro.
It's crazy we haven't chopped it up since the fights.
I know, man, bro. I've been working a lot. Man, just helping one of my buddies do some remodeling. But look, I'm not even gonna hold back the surprise. I'm gonna show you guys the third entrant into the faction of heels that I've got on my desk.
Ezekiel.
Right, nah, so look, so I'm only letting heels on the desk. I don't want any of these fucking good guys. Just keep them away from me, bro. I got to come up with a name so you guys know. First one was the Macho Man.
Yeah.
Second one, Skeletor. You ready for
Macho? Is Macho Man a certified heel?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, he was at one point.
All right.
All right, you guys ready for number 3? Let's take a guess. It's a wrestler. I'll tell you guys that.
Give us an era.
A WWE guy, this era. Yeah.
WWE guy, this era. Seth freaking Rollins.
Hell no, but thank you for asking. He doesn't make the cut. What about you, Ben?
The Miz.
The Miz would be awesome, but he wasn't available. But he would still take second fiddle to my guy right here. What about you, Ben? Anybody?
Roman.
Any ideas? No. Boom.
Is it the Fiend? That's not a heel though.
That's a fucking heel, bro.
No.
That's a cartoon heel.
Bro, no. The man took John Cena down a dark path, bro. He's a heel.
I guess, but he's like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I think
you got him as just a straight up heel, even.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know, man.
I think that he's like one of the best heels that they've had in so long, too.
Why is the lighting in my house fucking garbage?
Or like Undertaker, like that wasn't a heel.
No, Undertaker. Well, he was at one point, like back in the day, but not later on. But bro, Bray, like Undertaker didn't really need to cheat. Bray was doing all kinds of shady stuff. He's fucking trying to light people on fire and shit. If you think about it.
But that was the match. That's like an Inferno match. That's not trying to light somebody on fire. Plus, Randy had burned down his complex and burned him in it. Randy was the heel in that. This is like the Karate Kid in Johnny Lawrence.
Bro,
this is Karate Kid and Johnny Lawrence. That's not facts, bro. Bray was dealt a shit hand. People did him so dirty. You look at him trying to convert Daniel Bryan and then him infiltrating the family and then turning on them. No, man, he's misunderstood. He's misunderstood.
Bro, he's got to come back, man. Even the Undertaker said it during his speech, like at Access. I was reading about that.
What did he
He's
say?
for real making a movie right now. So
No, he is. I know, but like, no,
What did Taker say?
He said that's the guy he hopes comes back, man. That he needs to come home.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, just one of those things, man. I think it's just going to take a little while, but I feel like he's wasting great years of his life, though, and that's what upsets me and makes me kind of sad. This is his, this is
his style.
time.
His style of wrestling allows for it, though.
It does, because he's not like overly athletic.
Yeah,
for a big guy, he is athletic actually. But look, yo, so like I just wanted to call you guys out on something because last week you hurt my feelings. You said that I was the only one who watches Young Rock. You kind of talked some shit about it, threw some dirt in my face about it.
Wait, that's not true.
That's true. That's true. Ben, you don't remember you guys talking shit about Young Rock?
We didn't talk shit, man.
I mean, I said that I didn't
we don't
watch it.
And no, I was like, no, I think Nico, you were like, nah, Will, only you or something like that. But anyway,
it is only you.
It's not only me, bro. That show is the bomb, and I'm gonna tell you
only
something.
you on this podcast.
Nah, but you made it act like,
right, yeah.
Like you made me feel like I was the kid eating lunch by himself in the corner of the lunchroom,
bro.
But do you guys want to know what happened last night on the show?
Tell us.
The Rock is sitting there watching the Royal Rumble from like 1995, I want to say. 96. Let's say 96, because The Rock came in 97, I believe. So he's watching the 96 Royal Rumble, and he's sitting in the room with the Samoans, like, you know, the tag team, the Samoans, Alpha and Sika, which are his uncles, the Iron Sheik, and I can't remember who the other person was. And bro, all of a sudden, his cousin, who's little, jumps on him, and he goes, "I want to wrestle you, Dewey." And he goes, "No, Joe, that's a match only big enough for WrestleMania."
No,
that happened last night. I swear on everything. And then they stopped the show, put in parentheses, "My cousin Roman Reigns."
Oh, I like that.
That's like a straight
Easter
up
egg?
spoiler.
That's an Easter egg?
Easter egg. Yeah, hell yeah. They're gonna do it eventually. They kind of have to. What, Ben?
Rock has never retired.
I am so uninterested in that.
Bullshit.
So uninterested.
Bullshit.
Bro, it's a family business.
I am so uninterested in that.
Bullshit. That's not true. First of all, The Rock is in way better shape than Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's going to be able to give us way better of a performance.
Well, of course he will. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and you got to pass that torch.
Yeah, I mean, that part I do agree with.
What else is he going to, unless he's going to come back and be a heel with Roman and do some crazy, grimy shit?
Maybe he doesn't need to come back at all. He should just go be president like they keep talking about or whatever in that show.
So what's stopping him from still doing something as the president?
I mean, that's true.
What is stopping him?
Listen,
nothing. I'm just not in. I don't know. I don't want to see it.
Here's the problem, Ben. I'm spoiler alert. The way to become president is to wrestle somebody at WrestleMania.
Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, he had was it Bobby Lashley that wrestled for him, right? Was that who his person was or whatever at that WrestleMania?
Yeah, but he got physical with Vince.
And then he got stunnered.
He did get stunnered, man. So maybe The Rock would get stunnered. So, hey, I know we're gonna go into UFC and maybe circle back to wrestling in a few minutes, but yeah, they changed his name to Theory. They took Austin away, and now they're just calling him Theory. And apparently, the whole reason being is because Stone Cold's not done, and Vince doesn't like the idea of Austin Theory versus Steve Austin. That's what is being talked about and said.
Really?
Yeah. Which, I mean, who, whatever.
Stone Cold with another match.
Yeah, apparently.
No.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. That from inside sources in WWE. That's why Vince said no more Austin Theory. We're just calling him Theory. Yep.
Interesting.
I just hope that, I mean, for some people it's worked, right? Switching to one name, but for some people it has sucked. Like Cesaro.
At least there's like a little gimmick here attached to this one. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we don't want you to be called Austin because that's a bad name. Like at least there's like a gimmick behind this one. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you could always get the name back later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you could take it off of Stone Cold.
Yeah, something like that. Even if he just hits Steve Austin like and knocks him down, and he's like, oh, fucking, like I'm the real Austin. I don't know. Fucking, there's a gimmick behind it at least.
Right.
You can play with it a little bit.
That's such a like chicken shit thing to do. Like slap Stone Cold and say I'm the real Austin.
Isn't it though? You know what I mean? And he's that chicken shit like heel right now. So they're definitely doing good things with him. Even if he is losing, they're still doing shit that he's on TV. People are enjoying the segments he's a part of. And like I joked in the group chat the other night, but Vince McMahon probably wouldn't say on TV that this is a future world champion if he didn't actually kind of put some kind of stock into the fact that this kid could be a future champion in the company. So,
right, bro. But like, how dope of a shirt would that be if it said Stone Cold, Steve, and had Austin across here, and then it said Theory down here, and the verses right in the middle? That shit would be dope. I think it would be.
It would be awesome if Austin Theory just called himself Stone Cold Austin Theory anyways. It would be hilarious.
Bro, and then I know that they did something with somebody recently too, but bro, Austin Theory could have started calling himself Austin whatever he want, Austin 420, Austin 5'11", you know what I mean? Whatever he wanted to, and really just like fucked with Stone Cold, man. Fuck it. They could both make some money off the shirt.
Austin Theory 16.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty good.
316 Theory.
That's what make that a shirt right fucking now.
Yeah. I mean, but anyway, there was a good card this past weekend on UFC. Shitty cards to come in the next couple of weeks on UFC.
Oh yeah, before we get into the card from this weekend, I want to ask you guys something about MMA. This is something I read today online. I want your thoughts behind it or your opinions behind it. So AJ McKee came out. He had an interview today, I think it was actually, or yesterday. His contract with Bellator is technically up, but where he's the champion, he's still under the champion's contract, which means he has at least 3 fights. So if he defends the belt successfully, he has to defend it again. So he could have up to 3 fights left on his contract, even though he hasn't re-signed yet.
Right.
He came out today and said, they did try to re-sign me. I already had fought previously for $1 million. I feel like I should never have to see anything under $1 million ever again, especially with the achievements I've accomplished. Every time I step in that cage, there's a 0 next to my name. For me to go backwards, anything under $1 million, I feel it's just not reasonable. He said that before the contract negotiations stalled out, they were at about $500,000 per fight. And they're still allowed to make their own money off sponsors and stuff like that. So I guess my question is he ridiculous for asking for $1 million per fight? I mean, he's not even the marquee name for that company. And or B, I guess, whichever second part of this question would be, if he already had mentioned in the interview that he wanted to fight Volkanovski and that his dream fight would be against Max Holloway, but he said he was only interested in fighting for the UFC if he could get a Michael Chandler type introduction, meaning like 1 fight and then you're on your way to the title. So I guess the first part is, do you think he's worth $1 million per fight and Bellator should give it to him? And then the second part of my question is, if he doesn't go to Bellator, how do you think he fares in the UFC?
Nico, I'll let you take it first. I need to think about something for a second.
AJ McKee.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, you do.
He's the current 145-pound featherweight champion in Bellator.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't know that man's name.
You do know him. I mean, okay, but you know who he is.
He's undefeated. He's won every fight he's ever had, and they've all been in Bellator. He's like 17-0 or 18-0.
I feel like y'all are both missing the point of what I'm saying right now.
No, I know he's not a household name. I see what you're saying, but
okay, so then that's what I'm saying.
But bro, I mean,
that's what I'm saying, though, Will.
Yeah,
I mean what that's. I'm not trying to be a dickhead right now. You can be a pretty bad dude.
Yeah,
but I don't know you. I'm not seeing you all over Instagram. You're not lighting up my feed like that. All credit where it's due. You're still a bad fucking dude, but you ain't doing your job making the waves that you need to in terms of this social media wave, and that's important right now. I'm sorry, but it is. I don't know who you are. So when you ask me a question like that, Ben, the answer is no. I wouldn't give you $1 million to fight. No.
But
No,
I'm
I
only
wouldn't
telling
have
you.
you come over here, take one fight, and then get to fight my champion because I don't know who the fuck you are.
I'm only mentioning his credentials just so like you would know kind of if he came into the UFC what you would expect. Like I said, he's really, really good. He's very good. He just won their $1 million tournament. He beat Pitbull Freire.
So because you win $1 million tournament, you think that you should get $1 million a fight?
I think that's basically what he's saying, yeah.
No.
But I could see him kind of if he got to the UFC.
Well, is that funny? Is that funny? How many fights did he have within the tournament?
Four. Three
Okay,
or four. How many ever it works out to.
Okay. So you're worth $250,000 a fight.
And that's actually what he said he was getting was $250K. So Bellator only offered to go up $250,000 more, which I still think $500,000 a fight before your sponsors
Before your sponsorship is very fair.
Is super fair, especially because kind of like you said, Nico, a lot of people are gonna say who,
right?
Regardless of how many fights. I mean, I'm a pretty big Bellator fan just because it was easier to watch them for a while because they were on free cable for a while. Bellator was. They were on Spike TV or something, so I got to watch them pretty often. So AJ McKee, though, he is a bad dude, and he finishes a lot of fights, but he also kind of got that special treatment for a while where he was fed a lot of cans. Like we talked about boxing guys. We've talked about that 100 times where they kind of got guys that definitely they shouldn't have been in there with so they could kind of pad their records on the way up. This kid is legitimately the definition of homegrown talent, so they weren't going to throw him into the deep end by any means necessary. But I think if he went to the UFC, he'd have a little bit harder time than Michael Chandler because his name doesn't bring it doesn't bring as much value. But it wouldn't take long for him if he won a fight or two to get fast-tracked. Will, what do you think?
I think that I would stick with the $500,000 as a good pay, or honestly, here's the thing, man. Okay, this guy, he beat Pitbull. He beat Pitbull's ass. I didn't expect that to happen, right? Besides Pitbull, let me look him up real quick because I want to see, because like you know what we said was I didn't want to know what you were gonna ask us on the air, so I'm not 100% prepared with his resume. So let me just look at that real quick, and then okay, so he's beaten Pitbull. He's beat Pat Curran. He's somewhat of a decent name, not a big name, but like Darian Caldwell,
Brian Moore.
Yeah, Brian Moore's good. But here's the thing, man. If this guy wants to go out and say he's the best, he's got to go to the UFC. I don't give a fuck if Bellator offers him $5 million. If he never fights in the UFC, he's never going to know how good he is. And there's a big difference between the UFC and Bellator, and anybody can say whatever they want, right? But the truth is you had a guy named Will Brooks who was the fucking man in Bellator, and he was an average fighter in the UFC and actually had like a losing record in the UFC.
And guess what? I knew who he was before he came over.
And he was good. Bro, he was good. But it's a big difference, man. And like,
I want to say the only real successful guy that's come from Bellator into the UFC is Eddie Alvarez. Because, Michael Chandler's only had 3 fights in the UFC, but he's got a losing record in the UFC. He's 1-2, and so and Eddie Alvarez even only won the title for a minute before he lost it to Conor McGregor. So, the Bellator boys have a harder time, I think, transitioning. Because the UFC guys end up in Bellator when they're pretty old, you know what I mean? When it's kind of near the end of their career, so it's harder to judge the transition.
But like, if you look at it, like I was saying, Will Brooks, he came in, he beat Ross Pearson by decision. Then he lost to Alex Oliveira, Charles Oliveira, and Nick Lentz, and then they were done with him, man. Operation over. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those things. I don't think that it's on the same level. And I know I'm going to catch some heat from our friend who's watching right now, Nico, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. You're going to see the same thing happen with a lot of these homegrown guys from AEW. When they finally make it to WWE, we're going to see that they're not as big of a star as they thought they were in AEW. It's going to happen. It's not the same league. It's not the same.
Who is that directed at?
Brandon Carr.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, BC is not going to like that because he's a big fan of AEW. And
But
I'm not doubting AEW.
Who you think would come over from AEW wouldn't be a big star in WWE?
I don't think Sammy Guevara would make the cut. I do think MJF would.
All right, I was just looking for you to give him the nod.
I think he's about the only homegrown talent there right now that could come over to WWE and do pretty well.
Okay. Even then, it's a question mark because they would neuter his character so much.
And people will be like, "Oh, he's the Miz," because you already hear that.
I'm just worried that he thrives off some mega ultra heel heat, and I just don't think he'd be able to use that character in WWE, either 2 PC or PG or whatever whatever the thing is. I don't know, man. I think Adam Page is a little too vanilla. I think that he'd get lost in the shuffle.
That cowboy character, I don't think that cowboy character is going over so well. It's a good character, but it's not going over so well.
He's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, but I just think he's too vanilla, and WWE loses those guys pretty easy.
Yeah.
They do, and he can't really talk very well. I think that's his biggest problem. In the ring, he's great.
Unbelievable, yeah.
I mean, hey, that may be true, Brandon, but there's been some people that have gone there and done very well, and then there's some people that have gone there and just haven't made the cut, man. You can look at AJ Styles. A lot of people thought when he signed with WWE it was a bad idea because he was coming from Impact, TNA, whatever, and but he did end up doing all right, better than I think a lot of people thought he would do. He's still kind of lost in the shuffle right now, I think, in the upper mid card. But what'd he say? WWE called me, by the way. I got some ideas for you. Okay.
Yeah, but you know that AJ's at a point in his career where
he's more featured matches.
Yeah, he's a more featured match kind of guy. And when he was doing the face that runs the place, that was one of the hottest gimmicks of that year. That's right. He was one of the better wrestlers on TV then. So
definitely.
I think when he came, it was similar to Cody, where Cody's gonna not sign off on some storylines, and they're gonna have to just deal with it. Like, he's got a little bit of creative control within his contract. That, although the Cody and the Miz thing is kind of surprising to me, that they kind of are doing that right now. But I'll be here for it. I'll watch it. Fuck.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Hey, this is insane. I'm looking at former Bellator champions. There's a website. This is just off of whatever MMA Sucker. They did an article a while back. I mean,
I wonder how many I could name.
So, former Bellator champions that came to the UFC and how they did, because we were talking about that a couple minutes ago, and then we got off track. They wasted Finn Balor, wasted Braun, wasted Cody. Nah, I think Cody's going to do pretty well this time. You telling me AEW would fizzle out on a WWE roster that has Nikki Ash? Absolutely, because now Nikki Ash is part of the 24/7 division. She's not even wrestling on TV anymore. She's chasing around a bunch of clowns, unfortunately. But look, so Bellator champions that migrated to the UFC and how well they did. Hector Lombard. Any ideas on his UFC record, guys?
Oh, I already know it was terrible.
I mean, yeah, it was terrible, but how terrible was it?
He probably
got 6 losses.
3 wins, 8 losses.
8 losses.
So, next guy, and I don't even, bro, this is like me with Nico. Zach Makovsky, I don't even recognize his name.
He was flyweight. He was the first 135-pound champion, I'm pretty sure, in Bellator.
He came to UFC 3-4. Joe
Soto, but they fed him to killers away.
They did. That's true. But I mean, if this dude wants to, you got to look at AJ McKee. You just said he wants to come to UFC and get big fights. I mean, those are killers at 145. I mean, those are bad motherfuckers for real. Joe Soto, Now, Joe Soto is a little bit different because he got given that title shot when he didn't deserve it. He stepped in and actually did pretty well against TJ, but he went 3-5 in the UFC. Pretty
well. I mean, not getting murdered, then yeah.
Eddie Alvarez, 8 fights, 4 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest.
One of my favorite fighters ever.
Yeah. Will Brooks, we already talked about that, 1-3. Ben Askren, 1-2. Do you guys want to know? Oh man, Ben, you're gonna love this. Who is the most successful fighter to come from Bellator as a champion into the UFC? Any ideas? You like this guy?
Oh, I already know.
Who?
Alexander Volkov.
There you go. I think he's 6-3 in the UFC because this article is a little bit dated, and I know he lost his last fight to Blade. So I think he's 6-3 in the UFC. That's crazy when you think about it, though. That's the most successful guy, Volkov, and he's in the shittiest division in the company. I mean, I want to talk about that either this week or next week, like we were talking about earlier. But let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and say, fuck the $500,000, fuck your $250,000 and all this other stuff. Go to the UFC. Take a even if it's a little bit of a pay cut, take the pay cut, get there, prove your worth, prove you're the best in the world, and they'll take care of you. You know? That's what I'm saying. Like Nico said, he's got to build up his name a little bit. He's good, but you know, if it like this to me, it's like this. If you are the best battle rapper in your city, but nobody's ever heard you outside of your city, are you even that good? I mean, you might be the best in the world, but if nobody's ever heard you on a big stage, who the fuck are you? You're just some dude, right? I mean, it's kind of like that, man. I mean, and Bellator has kind of fell off too because, you know, they signed that exclusive deal with what's the company called, Ben?
Showtime?
No, they have Showtime, but then their other cards are like exclusive to like Fubo's TV or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Which is strange because nobody has that shit. I don't know anybody. I couldn't personally tell you anybody who has Fubo's TV. Do you guys know anybody? Because I don't.
Fubo used to be like a place where you could illegally stream fights. I didn't know they went legit.
Yeah. It's like Fubo's TV or some shit like that. Yeah.
So
Fubo? Fubo, yes,
Fubo
TV. LL Cool J, Fubo, FUBOV TV is where they're
almost.
Huh? Yeah.
Or almost by almost.
There you go. All right, so
I had a Fubu jersey as a kid, bro.
There you go. I bet you it's worth money now if you still had it, bro. Shit is vintage. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about these fights. And I told you guys earlier where I was coming from with a certain part of these fights. But let's see. Let me just pull up UFC 273 because I want to talk about this. And I think we all did pretty well on our picks, just to be completely honest with you. When I looked at it, I'm pretty sure we all had like 4-2 or 5-2 or somewhere in there. We all did pretty well as far as the picks go. But Raquel Pennington beat Aspen Ladd. I saw some people saying they thought Aspen Ladd won the fight. I thought Raquel Pennington won, but it was a close fight. It was. And honestly, it was a close enough fight for me that if it did go the other way, I wouldn't have really had, too big of a pedestal to argue it. I mean, it was a close fight. What was it? Was it round? Was it round 1, Ben? That was the swing round, or was it round 2? Okay, it's round 1. Yeah, Ben 100% has that FUBU still, bro. The Birdman lugs. I had the Birdman lugs, bro. They were expensive as hell, man. I loved my lugs, man. Is BC hating on Ben's lugs? That's messed up, man. But yeah. So it was the first round. Nobody knew. Nobody, people disagreed on. Okay, cool. Pennington won the bout. Unanimous decision, 29-28, all across the board. Oh, and I totally missed this. The fight was so fast, I went to the bathroom, came back, and then I see on my phone it said, hell of a debut for Mike Mallet. So apparently he knocked out Mickey Gall. I never went back and watched it.
Oh yeah, dude. He cleaned him out. Caught him with a
did?
super clean left hook. Gall absolutely face planted. I mean, no hands, like face planted.
Yeah, he got rocked by. Yo, why you move off of Raquel and Aspen so fast? Because I don't agree with that shit being a close fight at all.
You didn't? Okay,
I
well, I'm
didn't
not
either.
No.
This was before that. That's why I just threw that in there real quick.
Rocky smacked the shit out of her them first 2 rounds.
I even picked Lad, and I thought
it wasn't even close. It was like Rocky went back to her corner first round. I said Rocky won that. Rocky went back to her corner second round. I said Rocky won that. Third round, I said Aspen might have won that.
Yeah,
that's not really that close.
No, yeah, I didn't either. I didn't think it was close either. And I picked Lad to win, and I was like, "This is the least controversial decision out of all of the decisions we had."
I mean, you guys know that I picked Rocky to win. I thought the first round was kind of close. I saw a lot of people saying they thought that she lost that fight. Whatever. I mean, I'm not saying she lost. I'm just saying it was a good competitive fight. That's all.
Those are people that probably wanted her to lose, not necessarily thought she lost.
I don't know what it is about Aspen Ladd, but there's a lot of people that just love her so much. And you're right. Probably people.
Well, the UFC drove her down our throats for a while, trying to say she was the next big thing, but she just keeps.
And I said it. Look, I sat here and I said.
Belongs on Nico's suspect list.
She does, because the problem with her is she's not aggressive enough. She's not. Sometimes she's aggressive, but she's not consistently aggressive. And
she loses the first round almost every single time she fights.
Yep. And then
so you're starting in the hole. You're starting in the hole around automatically.
Yep. Absolutely. Then her boyfriend curses her out. She starts to do a little bit better, and then there's a whole big media thing about it. I didn't even pay attention to her corner. Was there anything controversial this time, or were they very calm?
They did their best to not show her corner. Most of this. It was early enough in the prelims that when I was watching it, they went to actual commercial break.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So after that, Anthony Hernandez beat Josh Fremd. That was actually a really good fight, despite it being a unanimous decision. It was just a very exciting fight. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I agreed with the third judge who said it was 29-28, because I definitely thought that Josh won one of those rounds. But man, it was just so wild. It's kind of hard to score those kind of fights.
Good on that kid for hanging tough.
Yeah, that they were all over the place though. Nico, did you see that fight?
Yeah, they were scrapping.
Yeah,
they had a good scrap.
Yep.
Third round, Hernandez got busy though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was pummeling him in the third round. Hernandez is good, man. I mean, he lost to Kevin Holland, but besides that, he's 3-1. With that one loss to Holland, and I feel like he's starting to. I think that he's becoming a good, solid prospect. I think he's on a decent run here, and I think he'll only continue to get better. And he's exciting, man. People like him. What was that fight a while back, Ben? Or Nico, either one of you guys, if you remember, the fight with him and who was it? That was like so exciting, but it really made him. Was it? Well, I think it might have been the Jun Young Park fight when he got that Anaconda. That really was a big deal, because he got Anaconda the fight before. He lost by Anaconda, came back and won by Anaconda that next fight. So it's kind of like a weird thing, because that's not a very common submission. But anyway, Nico, the next fight was Darian Weeks versus I will definitely be in the top 10, Ian Gary.
Nope.
It was a good fight, bro. Hey, Darian Weeks did better than I thought he would do. Hats off to him, bro. He's a tough dude. I was surprised. I thought he definitely
he's a tough dude, but Ian was still way more technically sound and picked him apart, man.
For sure. What did you think of Ian Gary now that you've seen him fight? I know, Nico, you said I know you said that you couldn't remember.
Yeah. He's crispy. I didn't know who the hell he was fighting still.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's that. But he was crispy. I like what I saw.
Right. Yeah. I thought he was
tall, rangy. Yeah, I like that shit. And he worked off a jab. So that's the type of shit I like.
Yeah, that's true. Ben, what do you think of this fight?
Good fight. Darian did better than I thought he would, which is actually kind of a good thing for Ian Gary because he, being pushed in the octagon is different than being pushed in a different setting. So now he knows he can go 15 minutes with some pretty. I mean, not that he was like going balls to the wall for 15 minutes, but it was some. It was a good scrap. So he knows he can go, and he knows he's got good striking. He's an ultra talented kid. I just hope that he figures out whatever personality gimmick he's going for on the shtick, because like he kind of called people out, but didn't really call people out. And leading up to fight week, he was being pretty humble, but now he's got a big mouth. So it's like, find your shtick, homie, and stick with it. And you'll obviously be a good prospect to watch in that division moving forward. He mentioned that his two most desired fights are against Stephen Thompson, and I think it was Nate Diaz. I mean, obviously that'll never happen, but not necessarily soon. But I can see the Wonder Boy fight happening for him eventually, which would be cool.
Everybody wants to fight Wonder Boy because now they see all they gotta do is hold him against the fence.
Yeah, but I think he is more interested in the striking aspect of standing up and going after it with him. But he's an interesting prospect to watch. So
yeah, oh, definitely, man. I agree. So after that, we had the main card. Mark Madsen versus Vince Pichel.
Okay, now this is where people should have been screaming robbery.
Okay. Well, tell me about it, Nico. Let's see. Mark won by unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 29-28.
Bullshit.
Okay, go ahead.
Bullshit.
I thought it was 29-28, but go ahead.
30-27 is outrageous, especially that two judges went like that. Because Pichel was getting the fuck off on Madsen. In those first two rounds, he got busy. He busy. Did. My man might have gotten one takedown in both of the first two fucking rounds, and it wasn't for no amount of significant time. Pichel got busy, and he talked shit while he got busy. The only round that Madsen clearly won was the third round.
That he clearly won? Okay.
Clearly won.
I wonder what the scorecards were for this. I wonder which...
Because that was outrageous to me, man. I didn't like that at all.
A lot of people were talking about this as a robbery, too.
This should have been called the robbery.
Let's see. I'm looking for the scorecards now. That's not the scorecard. Get the fuck out of here. Let's see.
Even if you go back and look at the numbers, Will, from just like strike versus strike standpoint in rounds 1 and 2, it's like what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. I mean, okay, so yeah, the only judge that gave Sal D'Amato gave Vince one. He gave him the second round. That's it. Let's see, but everybody else gave Madsen all of the other rounds. Let's see,
bro. Look, round one, my man got one takedown and he was on top for 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Second round, they both got a takedown. One was on top 48 seconds, the other 25 seconds.
Yeah.
But Madsen was outstruck
pretty badly too.
He was outstruck badly. It's not like, bro.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
As far as strikes go, you're looking at 24-18, significant strikes, obviously. 24-18 in the first round, 22-13 in the second round, 22-8 in the third round.
But you're viewing it as an overall fight, so even if you he landed 88 out of 144 strikes for a 61% accuracy rating. Pichel. He landed 68 significant strikes and had 1 of 2 takedowns. They credited Madsen with 3 of 3 takedowns.
Yep.
He had 39 significant strikes and 57 total strikes. So the guy got outstruck in every round and as a total in the whole.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did anything with his takedowns, he didn't do anything with them.
Right.
Except for the third round.
But
he even got outstruck on the ground. 5-4. Which is kind of crazy. But like I said, I mean, that fight probably was, now that I'm looking at the actual stats, and I was doing something that night. I might have been cooking dinner while that fight was going on or doing something, so I might not have been paying as much of attention to it. But yeah, I mean, with those stats, that definitely is probably the most significant judging error of the night. I'll go ahead and say that. And I did pick Mark Madsen to win, but still, you know.
I did as well.
Yeah, the next fight, Mackenzie Dern versus Tisha Torres. Everybody's upset about this fight. Not everybody. A lot of people are upset about this decision. Mackenzie won split decision 29-28, 29-28, 28-29. I picked Tisha Torres, so it's kind of hard for me to sit here and be like, oh, Tisha won the fight. But I did think that Tisha Torres won the fight.
Agreed.
Let's not, significant strikes, she outstruck her 76-50. And it's I don't know. It's just it was a weird scoring to me. First round 35 significant strikes to Mackenzie Dern's 28, and then in the third round it was 39-20 in significant strikes. The second round, both of them only landed 2 punches apiece. As far as significant strikes go, that was the round that I gave to Dern, of course, because she was threatening with all those submissions. Yeah. So I felt like Tisha won the first and third. I think she got a raw deal on that one. But
yeah, the weird thing is, though, you say that she was threatening with all those submissions, right? They only credited her with 3 submission attempts for the whole fight.
Yeah, that's true.
3 submission attempts over 15 minutes, and she was 0 for 5 on her takedowns.
Yep.
She got outstruck by 26 strikes, and her strike percentage was 32% to Torres's 61%.
Bro, I mean, and
Tisha won that first and third round.
And the thing about it too is that Tisha came forward the whole fight.
She won the first and the third, bro. She won the first and the third.
I mean, but the judging's obviously a problem. There's a problem with it. So I mean, Ben, did you think that Tisha Torres won that fight, or did you think Mackenzie Dern won that fight?
I thought at worst that was a draw, because this was. It's similar to what I want to talk about later, but that second round of control that Dern had, I mean, that was pretty much the entire round, right? I mean, that was a big round.
So that could be a 10-8.
Right. Okay, so we'll just cut to, I think that the biggest judging problem was in Sterling versus Jan. I'm a humongous Jan fan. I've been preaching that this guy's fucking elite for a long time. But I think that the judging in that fight shouldn't have even been considered controversial, because to me, round 2 for Sterling was a 10-8 clear as day all day long.
We'll get there.
And I think that's what happened here, or should have happened here, or could have happened here, was like, at worst, this fight should have been a draw, because that second round could have been 10-8 just due to the absolute control of the entire thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they definitely got this one wrong too. Do I say robbery? But it was wrong. I think the wrong person won.
I all right. So when we get into this next fight, I just want to say something. You guys know I'm a big Hazmat Chimaev fan. I'm also a big Gilbert Burns fan. I told you guys that last week. I thought that Hazmat would win, but I would be happy if Gilbert Burns won. He was my favorite lightweight until he moved up. Honestly, I mean that's 100% the truth. But so Hazmat wins the fight by unanimous decision. I'll let you guys talk about it in 1 second. The funniest comment that I read on Facebook was somebody said, "Well, they could have at least given Gilbert a split decision." The fuck does that even mean? Like, it makes no. What do you think sense. That one judge should have said? Oh well, it's a split decision. I mean, I don't know if people think that judges say, "Oh, it's a split decision." Like, they don't realize that one judge has to give it to him. It was so weird. It was like it could have been given a split decision. Like, that was the, like, I don't know. I put a laughing emoji next to it because it's just a comedic thing to say. Like, it makes no sense at all. Or if somebody says, "I scored it as a split decision," I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you like, do you have multiple personality disorders and 2 of them thought that Hazmat won and 1 thought that Gilbert won? I mean, there's no way to judge a fight as a split decision, not
No.
for one person.
No.
But go ahead, Ben. Go ahead and give me your thoughts on this fight, and then we'll go to Nico. And
I think you'd rather wait for my thoughts on this fight. I was the only one that picked Gilbert, so I'll go last.
All right, Nico, what do you think of this fight?
I feel like
Somebody's watching me. No, go ahead, man.
It was a close fight for sure. Gilbert put up a hell of a fight. I don't think that the times that he did clip Chimaev should have counted as knockdowns. I know that they weren't counted as that, but I see a lot of people complaining that they weren't. I saw it very similar to when Kamaru got knocked down and touched with his palms, got right back up and was in his face.
Mm-hmm.
It was good that we got to see Khamzat in a war. We got to see his heart. You got to see his chin. You got to see him versus the number 2 guy in the world at that weight class in his 5th fucking fight in the UFC. I don't think that that's the hype train being derailed at all. I think that's Khamzat showing you he is who he says he is. We spoke briefly in the group chat about what I thought he should do next, and I think he should try and take about 3 to 4 fights before going against Kamaru. But yeah, man, I think Bohr showed that he is who he says he is. That's a fucking warrior right there. He's a killer.
I'm with you. I do have something interesting to say in a minute, but I'm going to let Ben talk about this fight, because what I have to say isn't exactly relevant just for this fight as much as it is for his career. So Ben, go ahead.
I also think that it's absolutely berserk that he went out there to try and knock that man out on the feet and didn't resort more to his wrestling prowess like he could have. The way that he just snatched him down by his body in the first round was insane. He fucking dragged that fucking man like a child. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, but he clearly didn't want any part of fucking around on the ground with Gilbert Burns, though.
Yeah.
As far as the jiu-jitsu goes?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Ben.
I worry about fights that are close like this because whoever you pick, you're obviously going to side more with them towards the time that the decision rolls around. I told you that right after it happened that I thought Gilbert won. Was I shocked that he lost? No. But I felt that in the 3rd round he was doing a little more damage. But it was a hell of a fight. No matter what, I think I had said it on the show that we did picks that, like the real winners are the fans here for that fight. Like, it doesn't matter who wins. It's unfortunate that Gilbert had to lose, really, this was legitimately a fight that you would have been like, whoever loses this fight, I feel fucking terrible for, because it was that good.
But and I've heard this elsewhere, so I think Shell Sonnen was the one who said it. Gilbert didn't lose anything in this fight. His stock is, I think it's even better probably than it was before this fight, because more people probably know him after this fight than before this fight. I mean, this was the fight everybody wanted to see. You got 2 title fights ahead after it, and still people were tuning in for this fight. But keep going, Ben.
Like I said, I was worried that because I wanted Gilbert to win, I watched his strikes more, and I think that's probably where I think he won the 3rd round, is because I was obviously more closely watching his performance over Chimaev's in the 3rd round. But it was awesome, and if I'm Chimaev, I agree with Nico. I take as many steps as I can before I go fight Usman. It's like I mentioned in the group chat. He's just different. Kamaru's just different, and he makes really good fighters look average. So if I'm Chimaev, I take a few baby steps before I jump all the way in. I kind of mentioned it earlier that my ideal fight would be for Luque to absolutely murder Bilal Muhammad and then have Luque and Chimaev fight, just because I think that would be a beautifully destructive fight. I want to see that pretty bad. But I wouldn't call robbery here either. Like I said, I picked Gilbert, so I sided with Gilbert on the decision. But when it came to decision time, I was like, all right, makes sense.
Right. Okay. So, and I kind of alluded to this in the group chat. Which fight do you guys prefer? Which fight you guys think was a better fight? This or Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler?
Gaethje Chandler.
I like this one better.
Bro. Flying leg pass. Flying leg pass.
I mean,
You ain't never seen that happen? All right.
No, I mean, no, we haven't, but I just felt like
I don't know what you just said.
What?
Flying leg pass.
Flying leg pass.
Oh, I thought it's like, well, I don't know what that means.
Flying fucking leg pass.
I just think they were both awesome fights, man. I like both of them. And I can't even pick between the two of them which fight I thought was a better fight, honestly.
Chandler just walking forward with his fucking hands down, eating shots to the biscuit like a fucking madman. Yo, stop it right now.
It was amazing.
What are y'all, crazy?
No, I like both fights though, honestly.
This is the problem with the UFC, man. We do this shit all the time, man. You see something so great, and then it's like months later. Yeah, that recency bias, and then you see something that's like, oh shit, this is exciting again, and your little wee stand up, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the one. No, man, no.
I don't know. Hey, but look, so this is what I wanted to tell you guys. Two things. Number one, I think a lot of people, Ben, I'm not putting you in this because I felt like you actually watch fights a whole lot closer than most people. But I think a lot of people that are saying that Gilbert won the fight and got robbed are looking at Chimaev at the end of the fight with a bloody face, his face all fucked up, and saying, oh, that dude doesn't look like the winner. He didn't win.
They both were bloodied up.
They were, but Chimaev definitely looked worse. I thought he looked worse, man. Look, he's really, really white, Nico.
He just had that one scar underneath his eye. That gash on Gilbert's head that he had to have stitched up while Chimaev is standing over his body saying, hey, yo, thanks for running it, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That was cool that he said it. No, I'm just saying, though, but look, this is the thing, bro. He's really white. Every single mark on his face shows, man. And, like, he was so fucking red at the end of the fight. And, he was bleeding from his eye and stuff. But I felt like, I don't know. I felt like at the end of the fight, and I'll try to find a picture, but I felt like Gilbert looked a little bit better than Chimaev.
I'm going to send you this picture of Chimaev landing that uppercut flush on that motherfucking chin. It looked like he got pond ripples all down his face. It looked like he going through hyperspeed, cheeks just blowing in the wind.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture,
right?
Too.
He rattled to his core. It looked like Logan Paul when Floyd landed that hook.
All right, well, let me ask you guys this. In all seriousness, do you think that this fight, do you think Chimaev took enough damage that going forward he will use a more wrestle-heavy offense?
No.
You don't think he learned a lesson in this fight?
That man is a killer.
I'm just asking you. I mean, I agree, but
he'll die on his sword. I think that he'll go more wrestle-heavy when he, like Ben said, he know the jiu-jitsu not there. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to look at his opponent strategically at the powers they possess and go in and try and implement that game plan. I think that he told everybody he was going to knock him out, so he went in there to knock him out. Mm-hmm. I think he believed he could knock him out, and when you tell yourself that so much going into the fight, I'm going to throw these fucking hands, then you go in there to throw the hands. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter that you know your strength is wrestling. You're not just going to change it on the fly, especially if you don't feel that danger like that.
So, right.
And I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're straight. I just don't. I don't see him really just going like I'm a wrestler now.
And I didn't mean to say that Gilbert's jiu-jitsu was like better than Chimaev's. I just mean if Chimaev took him down, realized there was a little danger there, why fuck around? That's when he was like, get up and get it on. Like, there's no point screwing around if you're not going to have that total advantage like he did over, was it Reese McKee that he fucking took down and just demolished on the ground? Like,
and who was the other one?
And then he sent fucking Gerald Mearshard into hyperspace.
Yeah, Li Jianling. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey Tim, these guys think that he needs a couple fights. Honestly, I mean, he's number 3 right now because they moved Leon Edwards up from number 3 to number 2. They put him to number 2. I mean, everybody's talking about a Colby Covington fight with Chimaev. I think if he fights Colby Covington, he fights Colby Covington. After that, there's really no way for him not to get a title shot. So, I mean, unless they, unless they don't like the fight, the UFC, I think that he's on a path for one more fight, and then Usman if he could beat Colby, which I think he would beat Colby. But see, my problem is that I would rather see Gilbert and Colby fight because that's just a fight I've been wanting to see for a long time. But I don't know who I would match Khamzat up with if that didn't happen. But anyway, this is what I was gonna say, Nico. I don't know, man. A lot of times fighters do this. They get into a fight like this, kind of like GSP with Matt Serra, and then after that, they do have a more wrestle heavy offense because they're like, damn, I don't like that shit with my face getting fucked up or whatever, almost getting knocked out. However you want to look at it. So I don't know. I've been thinking about that and just contemplating it. What if he decides he wants to wrestle?
I don't want to get my face fucked up if he has the lip scar.
I know,
bro. He don't give a fuck about no goddamn scars or nothing.
I sent a picture to
that
Ben.
That man is a fucking killer.
He is, absolutely.
He don't care. He embraced the war. He loved that shit. At the end of it, he's like kissing Gilbert on his bloody fucking head and still smacking him in the face.
Oh my god,
he's a different breed, bro.
You could see that one of the dudes from Gilbert's corner was kind of getting mad that he was smacking him, but he wasn't doing it like that. It was more it
was like a brother smack. Yeah. He would embrace it, smack him back. He likes that shit.
Yeah.
It's like chicks, he's running up on chicks in the hallway trying to wrestle them.
Bro, I know.
It's a nut.
Tatiana Suarez said that he tried to wrestle her in the sauna while he was on fight week.
Crazy. Yes, he's crazy.
Yep. Hey, Tim, Conor Nate 3, I'm down. I'm always down. I'll be down if they fight 10 more times.
No, Conor's coming back to knock out Kamaru Usman. Tell me you saw that shit.
That's what he said.
Tell me you saw that shit. Conor drunk as fuck in the pub talking about the Triple Crown. That's a wild man right there.
Hey, but you know what? Here's the thing. You got to at least give him credit for one thing, Nico. He believes in himself.
He does believe in himself. And here's the other thing is I could see that shit happening for him. Because fuck him. That's why. Only him. Only he could go out there and starch Kamaru Usman in fucking 20 seconds and then go to defend the shit and get fucking starched. That's Conor shit.
And get his ass kicked by Leon Edwards or somebody that's not even that good.
Somebody not that good who absolutely deserves the title.
Yeah. Triple C's also coming back. That's what they're saying. Yeah. So
tell me you saw the recent photo of him marching into USADA for the testing pool. Little tubby ass. He's so tubby right now.
That's funny. But no, I had sent a picture to Ben. I can't find it right now, Nico. But it's a picture of Khamzat Chimaev before the UFC. And bro, he was actually a pretty decent looking guy. He's kind of a good looking guy. Now he looks like a fucking maniac. But before he looked like he was, like I say, he was okay, man. He didn't look like a crazy person like he does now, which is hilarious to me. Yeah. I'm gonna try to find it real quick and show it to you. But I was like, are you serious? That's him? And I mean, yeah, it's definitely him. It was from an article, but it was just kind of shocking that, what he looked like to what he looks like now. It was just it just didn't even look like the same person. But anyway, I know you guys had I
sent it to the group chat.
Oh, you did? Okay.
What did you say? That
picture of Chimaev from a few years ago.
I'll put it up in here. But yeah, no, I think he's always had the cleft lip there, cousin Timmy. But let's see.
No, I heard he got into an accident and bust that shit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had heard.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. Here you go, Nico. There's the picture of Khamzat Chimaev pre-UFC. If it'll finish up, come on. There it is, Nico. There he is.
No.
No, that's him right there, bro. Look.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? I mean,
Yep.
bro, in that picture, like he looks like he really looks like one of these like wrestlers like that we would have wrestled back in high school. That's exactly what he looks like, right?
Yep.
That's what it looks like to me. But
All right, get those pictures of Cejudo up there.
Oh, you got a picture of Cejudo for me? All right.
Get them pics of Cejudo up there.
Uncle Chili in the building. What's up, Uncle Chili?
What's up, Uncle
How
Chill?
you living, bro?
We're about to get the picture of current Henry Cejudo entering the USADA testing pool.
Oh God.
Heavyweight Henry.
Heavyweight Henry.
He is heavyweight Henry.
Quadruple C.
That's
the chins he got going on. That's the amount of chins he got going on.
Looks like he's going to Golden Corral or some shit.
I mean, somebody said,
no,
I'm not sure.
No.
If the hype is gone, no more boogeyman. I don't know.
No, that's not true.
Let's just say Stony Shores, but I'm really not sure.
But look, it's like this, man.
Blame it Stony.
When people go to fight Gilbert Burns, Gilbert is normally the favorite.
Yeah.
So how the fuck does this derail his hype train because he got touched up by somebody who's great? This is a number 2 guy in the division. He also touched up Kamaru before he lost that fight. He was doing fantastic.
Oh, it's Uncle Chili, I think. Uncle Chili, you over here talking shit about the boogeyman? Nah, bro, I don't think the boogeyman's gone, man. Like Nico was saying. I think it's Uncle Chili. I don't know. I think he didn't do something with his access. So
no, he showed he is who we thought he was. I feel like a lot of people want to see this like Conor McGregor-esque like moment where he went out there and starched Gilbert like Conor did Aldo, or
nobody have that to Gilbert.
That's not what's gonna happen, man. Like, and I said that also, like, before Conor did that to Jose Aldo, who did he have that all-out war with?
Yep, he had it with
was it Chad Mendes?
Yep,
who was considered a much lesser than opponent, and he took Conor into deep waters. He took him somewhere that he's never been before, and then he did that 13-second bit to Aldo. Like,
yeah,
just because Chimaev went out there and had a war, it doesn't mean that he's not that guy anymore.
Right.
I think that it shows more, in fact, that he is a fucking badass. Right now, he is on Kamaru's radar. A lot of people go, oh, he can't handle Kamaru. Kamaru knows that Gilbert's a fucking beast.
Yep.
He knows that Gilbert's a problem. He was in those training rooms with him. He has respect for that man. So to see somebody else go out there and take him out or win the fight against him, even survive against him, Kamaru's going to give that man the nod like, okay, that's a problem right there.
For real.
I got to watch this fucking guy right now. He's 27.
And I wasn't even thinking about the Conor thing, but I sent you back Izzy, man, Israel Adesanya. He went out there and had a fucking war with Kelvin Gastelum.
That's right.
People were like, well, this dude's not as good as we thought he was.
That's right.
And then he came out in the next fight. What'd he do, Nico?
Murdered him.
Beat Robert Whittaker's ass.
Murdered him. Left hook from fucking hell.
And that's his best performance of his life was when he knocked out Robert Whittaker, in my opinion.
That's right.
So I don't know, like.
I liked it when he humped Paulo Costa.
If anything, this is going to make him think that he's even greater. This is going to do so much for that man's confidence.
For sure. I think
27, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a beast, man. And he showed, like, people were like, oh, he doesn't have that great of a chin. I thought he showed he has a great chin. Okay. He did get knocked down, but he got up and kept rolling,
kept moving forward. Yeah. No let up in the fucking guy.
See, it's different than Shane Carwin. When Shane Carwin, was killing everybody in early rounds, he was old by the time that he lost to Brock and then lost to JDS. Like you said, this dude's only 27 years old, man. But anyway, let's look at these Henry Cejudo pictures. So this is the before. And that's the after. Damn, man. Bro, the second picture of Cejudo makes me feel better about myself. Like when I get ready for my shower. I got that kind of a bod going on, man.
Yo, that's what male aesthetic should look like right there. That's what I aspire to be like. Dude, he got kids because that's the definition of a dad bod right there, yo.
He's even got on the Speedo, man.
Come on, man. This ladies tuned in right now, and they're getting hot and bothered. Look at the Speedo. Come on, man. No thigh gap. Them thighs is touching that.
Nico, which one of the Kardashians was he trying to shoot his shot at? Was it Kourtney?
Probably Court.
Remember that? I
Probably
think that's
Court.
who it was. Back a while ago.
He better not shoot at Kim before Skeet get on that ass.
Hey, cousin Tim said that can't be real. No, that's real, bro.
Oh, that's facts right there, man.
That's real. But he's got plenty of time to lose weight. I mean,
yeah, he does, man. You
mean,
can't blame a man for retiring and living his best life, man. That's what you're supposed to do right there. All types of pasta being had.
Yep. All right. So, Nico, go ahead, man. Go ahead and talk about the Aljamain Sterling and Piotr Jan fight.
I'm not gonna call robbery at all. I'm not gonna call robbery at all.
Okay.
Number one's a pick'em fight. There is no 10-8 round that was had. I don't give a fuck about control time. There is no 10-8 round that was had. Aljo wins the next 2 rounds 10-9. Piotr wins the next 2 rounds 10-9. This fight should have been a draw. In my opinion, this fight should have been a draw. But they gave the nod to Aljo, and I'm not mad at it. Congratulations, Long Island. Y'all finally got a legitimate champion.
Well, let me say one thing.
I include Matt Serra and Chris Weidman in that, not legitimate champions. Y'all finally got one in Aljo.
Ben, let me just say one thing real quick to Nico before you start, all right?
You know what, Nico? I don't like your attitude.
All right, go ahead, Ben. I've been waiting to do that for a while, so. And he didn't even do anything to piss me off this time. I still just don't like his attitude. But Ben, go ahead. I know you were saying that you felt like the second round was a 10-8 round.
Well, I mean, I said it could have been. Like,
yeah, it could have been.
He literally wore him. He literally was a backpack for the entire round and threatened with submissions for most of the round.
No.
Okay. Go ahead, Will, I guess.
I mean, Nico, he had on that body triangle for
he can still talk. Why? I just said no, he didn't threaten with submissions. I just don't agree with that.
What did he have? He had on the rear naked choke that he was working
on. A body
on.
Triangle is not a submission attempt.
I know, but he was trying that rear naked choke for a while, man. Like,
what's the total of his submission attempts?
I don't know. Let's see. 0. That I don't buy that shit.
What's the total of his submission attempts?
0 submission attempts, Ben. You see that?
What's the total of his submission attempts?
I mean, I just said 0. I just said that, but I don't agree with that.
I know.
But I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I have to rewatch that because I thought that he was like working on that.
He was reaching around the chin, but at no point in time was it locked in around his neck where he had to defend and peel the top arm. He had to defend against the 2-hand gable grip around the neck. Mm-hmm. There were points in times where Aljo could have fucking abandoned that because Piotr was overhooking and transitioned for the armbar. He didn't go for it. He kept that body lock on the whole entire time. That motherfucker was stalling because he had a great position.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
I give it to him. No, he was a human backpack. He controlled that.
Yeah.
10-9.
Okay, so I have a hot take on this. And for number one, Aljo winning, I was surprised. Because, I picked him the first time because I thought that he was going to be able to do that the first fight, Nico. I thought that he was going to be – I told you that. I said I think he's just going to be able to out-wrestle this dude and just hold him down. And then he went out there the first fight, did good in the first round, then got his ass kicked for a while. Then we know the rest is history. Okay. Aljo wins the fight. And his call out of TJ was fucking brilliant, in my opinion. Called him Pillashaw. Ben, what else did he call him?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, I didn't watch the fight live. I had to watch it the next day. I had to work the next morning.
Cousin Tim, I know I was texting with you. He called him several names when he called out TJ, right? He was like, I don't even know. But here's my hot take. I don't think Dillashaw is going to get the title fight.
Needle Shaw.
Needle Shaw. Yep. I don't think that fight's going to get made, man. I don't see, for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't see it. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I think that, and did Dana say anything about it after the fight? Like, did he say that he was going to make that fight, or did he just like, whatever? He didn't really make a decision like what fight was going to come up next, right?
Oh, no, he said TJ was next.
He did? All right. All I'm going to say is this. I have a feeling, for whatever reason, that fight's not going to happen, and Jose Aldo is going to be the one that fights Aljamain Sterling next. I don't think they haven't put Jose into a fight yet. I don't know why, but I get this feeling that it's going to be Jose Aldo instead of TJ. I've been looking on Jose Aldo. I haven't seen anything about him. Oh, yeah. What the fuck just happened? I just pulled up Facebook and now that shit happened.
If
Anyway,
Jose come back and win this fucking title,
bro, I think he's got a good style to win it.
This may be one of the
Right?
greatest like UFC career stories of all time if he does this. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That man been through so much.
Right. I don't know. I just, for some reason, ever since that fight, I keep thinking like, I don't know. I just get the feeling that it's going to end up being Aldo and not him. I could be wrong, could be completely wrong, but that's just my take on it. Something's going to happen and it's going to end up being Jose. That's what I really believe. Now whether that means that Aljo decides that he's not going to defend the belt for a year because he's got to get some other shit taken care of, and it ends up being Jose versus TJ, or Aldo gets the fight against him. Cousin Tim, you asked what is Jose Aldo ranked? He's ranked number 3, Dillashaw 2, Peter Yan 1. So I don't know, man. So anyway, let's go to the main event. Happened pretty much how we thought it would go. Man, Volkanovski is a fucking animal, isn't he? I mean, he just put a fucking beating on the Korean Zombie. Hey, chill. Yeah, I mean, I give him respect, bro. Aljo, he came out there. He did good. He won the fight. I mean, like I said, I thought that his game plan was good after the first round. The first round he was kind of tentative, but you know that's the swing round that people didn't know what to make of, whatever. But it's just one of those things. But yeah, let's talk about the main event real quick because we got to cover a few other things before we go. But Ben, I'll let you go first on this one since you didn't want to go first on the other one. What did you think of the main event, man?
Alexander Volkanovski is the best 145-pound fighter right now, period. Nobody's ever done that to Chan Sung Jung before. Not even nobody. I've never seen that.
Yep.
I mean, the dude's levels above other people.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. And he's running out of opponents, honestly. If he beats Max the second time, I mean, he's kind of out of.
It would be a third time, wouldn't it?
Or third time, yeah.
Third time.
But I mean, like we talked about last week, and even though you're a big fan of, you're the one who said it, but even though you're a big fan of Josh Emmett, I mean, could they really give him a title shot, or Arnold Allen? I mean, it'd be pushing it, It would have to be on like a ABC or something like that fight. It wouldn't be able to. It would definitely not be able to be a pay-per-view unless it was like a co-main. And you kind of can't do that to your number 2 pound-for-pound guy, which was cool. I'm glad they moved him up to number 2 pound-for-pound. Now, Ben, the other thing I want to tell you real quick is Brian Ortega kind of put on a striking clinic against Korean Zombie. I mean, that's probably the best striking against Korean Zombie that we've seen with Brian Ortega until this fight. But
Volkanovski looked better.
Yeah, no, I said that. Yeah, I would say up until this fight, yeah. Did you guys hear Volkanovski before the start of, I think, round 4? Now, what did he say?
He asked
I'm
him
not
if he
sure.
was sure.
Asked if he was sure.
If he wanted to do this shit. Are you
Oh,
sure you
Korean
want
Zombie?
to? Yeah, you
Oh,
sure
you
you
want to
want to
keep
go
going?
one more round with me?
Kind of
Oh,
tried
okay,
to get him to stop it in between rounds, or he had hoped that they would stop it in between rounds.
I kind of don't disagree with that, man. I mean, that's the kind of beating that takes, years off your life, or as More Ranello said, it's the kind of beating that makes you forget your childhood.
I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised if Zombie takes one more fight and then calls it a career.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because going out on that loss would be a horrible way to go
right.
out. So I feel like he should get one more. But I mean, like you said, that that performance from Volkanovski showed that Jung's gone about as far as he can go. And if you're not fighting for the belt and you're not one of the biggest money-making machines in the company, what are you doing?
Right. If the UFC wants to do the right thing by him after he stepped up for that fight, give him the rematch versus Yair Rodriguez.
Bring back Diego Sanchez.
Bro, I mean, because I felt like he whipped Yair Rodriguez's ass and then got stopped with 1 second left, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like give him that rematch. Let him go out on a high note. Or at least give him the chance to go out on a high note.
Yeah.
Zombie versus Rodriguez too. But anyway,
man, Alexander definitely looked phenomenal. That check left hook was fucking disgusting.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, man. But it's like I was telling y'all, man, I felt like this was all the setup for Cejudo to return. I told you that
fight him.
Yeah, I told you that shit.
Yeah.
And then right back into the testing pool he goes right after the fight is lost.
See, and I told Ben I feel like the opposite. I feel like Cejudo was kind of worried about fighting Piotr Jan, but when he saw Aljamain win, he was like, "Oh, I'll fuck this dude up. This dude's not taking me down anytime."
He gonna do them both. He gonna do them both, but first he gonna try Volk.
Really?
Yeah, he gonna try Volk first.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah. So, all right. Well, look. Shout out to Mike Richmond. He did beat Dave Rickles in the BKFC main event last week. I want to make sure I mention that. Next week we're gonna have our guy Paul Tyler on. He is a manager for several BKFC stars, including our former guest. What's his name, Ben?
Gentleman Jack Claffey.
There you go, bro. And he's got several other on his roster. So we will put out some information about that this week coming up. It'll be next Wednesday at 9. But before we do finish up, I wanted to go ahead and get your guys' opinions on the final for the light heavyweight Grand Prix that's going on in Bellator this weekend. Nico, you got some vested interest in that because Julius was in there. But this weekend got Phil Davis versus Nemkov, and what are you thinking on that fight there, Nico?
Corey Anderson versus Nemkov, right?
Yeah, who did I say? Phil Davis. Yeah, Corey Anderson. My bad. That was the other. Yeah, they fought so many times. They fought twice. But yeah, go ahead, Nico. What do you think? Corey Anderson and Nemkov.
Man, when I was in Arizona and I saw Corey take on Bader and he uncorked, what was it, a right hand? Does he fight out of orthodox or southpaw position?
I'm pretty sure he's a righty.
Yeah, when he uncorked that shit and he dropped him, man, that shit just was so devastating. And then the way that he followed up and worked his ground, man, I don't think that this is gonna shake out too well for Nemkov.
All right.
I don't, man. Just after watching them both move in the ring. I mean, and granted, Nemkov was fighting one of my guys,
Right.
But I don't know, man. I guess I was expecting something magical to come from him, even though I was watching Julius. It's like he still has that allure of the champion, and like I thought it was gonna end very brutally for my guy, and then to see him go as far as he did, and then like just knowing Corey Anderson's career as I've watched it, like I just don't think that this plays out well for Nemkov.
All right. Ben, what about you, man? What are you thinking on this fight?
See, it's hard because Corey Anderson's explosive and he's fast and he's powerful. But Nemkov's just like super well rounded in everything. So it's like really hard to choose. My gut says Corey Anderson, but I've ridden with Nemkov pretty hard. I'd have to flip a coin, man. Shit, I don't know.
That's tough, right?
I guess Nemkov, but that's only if he can survive an early first round. Like if he can survive a first round where Anderson's got all that power, he might have a shot. Man, it's tough. It's really tough. It's a hell of a good fight, man, for sure.
It is.
We already know about Anderson's wrestling, man, and now that the hands is coming along.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
He's got good wrestling, man, but he doesn't have Nemkov wrestling. That's the only thing.
What does that mean? What does that
mean? Nemkov is, I mean, he fights kind of, okay, it means this. It means that Nemkov is better on the ground than Corey Anderson. In my
Corey
opinion.
Anderson has better wrestling, while Nemkov has better grappling.
About the jiu-jitsu. I didn't say shit about jiu-jitsu.
No, I know, but here's the thing: like you look at it, and yeah, he's from Team Fedor, and basically he's an extension of Fedor. And yeah, Fedor wrestled some great wrestlers, but every time he figured out a way, man, he found a way. I'm not talking about Fedor and Bellator. I'm talking about Fedor and Pride.
I agree.
He fought Kevin Randleman. Kevin Randleman is one of the greatest wrestlers to ever transition into MMA. He fought Mark Coleman. I mean, he was figuring out a way to beat these wrestlers.
That don't mean that you got the same shit just because you come from that camp.
It doesn't, bro.
You got the same gusto, and I've seen Khabib control some fantastic jiu-jitsu practitioners. You know, so like sometimes the wrestling can cancel out the jiu-jitsu and you can hold position, man.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. That is true too. But
what happens if Anderson can't? Let's just say like the grappling kind of cancels itself out. You know, like Nemkov's a little more technical and crisp, while Anderson definitely has that power advantage. So like, who would you take if it went down to a stand up match?
Nemkov.
Unless there's the early finish, like Ben said.
I got Nemkov from a technical standpoint. If it go all 5 rounds on the feet, I got Nemkov from a technical standpoint.
I totally forgot it was 5 rounds. I know it was a title fight, but I totally forgot it was 5 rounds because they just did that, right? Did they just change that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The threat of the takedown is going to make that overhand right available, and the threat of the takedown is going to make that stand back up uppercut available. Just that threat, bro. I'm telling you. So he's going to be scoring with shit that he shouldn't be scoring with on Nemkov just because of the threat of that takedown, man. Just having those hands in position to stuff that is gonna leave that chin available, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a long night at the office.
Maybe. Oh shit! Hey, look at that. Let's see what we got here. I'm just reading because I answered a question on the Bare Knuckle Fighting official Facebook page. I'll just read this to you guys real quick. So I'm sorry. Like I said, Nemkov, I'm going with him. And we'll go right back to Bellator in a second. But anyway, yesterday, the Bare Knuckle official Facebook page said Beck Rollins makes a return to BKFC on May 13th as she faces Britton Beltran. And this dude named Harry says, seems to be the pinnacle. Britton Beltran seems to be the pinnacle of bare knuckle. Christine Faria got beaten BKFC and left, and upon her return, she fought Britton. Beck Rollins left for a few years, and upon her return, she is going to be fighting Britton. Seems to me that Britton Hart Beltran is the key fighter in the BKFC. So you guys know I had to chime in. I was like, and I stole one from Nico on this one. I said, or she's always the bridesmaid and never the bride. Because, bro, she loses those fights.
That's right.
Yeah, she's the main event. The only big fight that she won that she really needed to win was the Paige fight. Every other time she's in that big predicament, she loses. Twice to Christine, once already to Beck, and she's fighting Beck again. I mean, Those are the 4 biggest fights of her career. She's won 1 of them. But anyway, she got in on it afterwards, which, whatever. She said to the guy, Harry, thanks for noticing that. I've been kind of saying that because there's a lot of girls on the roster, but truly none of them have fought anyone of huge stature besides me and Paige. I guess now Christine, because she has fought me. Other than that, everyone fights debuters or people who haven't even had legit successful pro backgrounds. But the question is, how come and why aren't the others being tested? I don't know. I mean, you can ask that all day long. I think it's only because she has a big mouth. She finds herself in fights. She starts running her mouth and saying incoherent shit, and they're like, oh, okay, well, you can fight her. Beck Rollins is nasty in bare knuckle, bro. I mean, she's really good. I mean, she went and had a kid, so we'll see how she comes back. But if she comes back the same way, her and Christine could have one hell of a fight for the title. Anyway, Ben, I also wanted to get your opinion on AJ versus Pitbull 2. Who do you think is going to take that one in Bellator?
I see it more or less happening the same way.
Really? Okay. Nico, I know you're not a AJ guy because you never heard of him, but did you see the fight with him and Pitbull when he beat Pitbull?
I didn't, but when you said that, it did make me raise my eyebrows because I know who Pitbull is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I know his body of work. I've seen that man drop numerous bodies. Did Pitbull lose by knockout?
Yep.
Yeah.
All
right.
No.
Well, he got knocked down and then submitted.
Yep.
All right.
In a minute and 57 seconds.
It was quick.
Quick.
Yep. He got caught. I mean, and anybody can get caught right at the beginning of a fight, but he got caught pretty bad. And
I'm gonna go with Pitbull anyway. Because
do you remember Antonio McKee? His dad fought in the UFC.
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah.
But I am hoping that Pitbull wins this fight.
I hope Pitbull wins too, but I'm going to pick AJ.
I'll take Pitbull on that one. All right.
Me as well, Will. Me as well.
Yeah. And then look, there's a UFC card this weekend. It's literally the weakest one of the year so far. So we're just going to talk about the main event and say fuck the rest of these fights. Vicente Luque versus Belal Muhammad, part 2. The first time, little back story, back history, whatever. Vicente Luque won, and it's been a while. It's been about 5.5 years ago. He won by knockout in a minute and 19 seconds. Will there be any difference this fight, Nico?
Belal Muhammad is a fucking maniac right now, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Belal.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Belal. I'm going with the bully.
Right. And what about you, Ben?
Sorry, I just got an update that Samoa Joe won the ROH television title on AEW.
Nice.
And next week, the ROH world title will be defended on AEW.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Which is awesome because Jonathan Gresham's the man. But anyways, man, it's hard to pick against Vicente. He just looks so good. Really good lately, especially against Chiesa, right? Was that who he beat? Was Chiesa?
Yeah.
Yep. Darce choked first round.
I didn't want to get him and Sean Brady mixed up. I know that they both ended up beating Chiesa, I guess, though. But Bilal's really strong.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with Luque, I guess, because that's who I want to win. So instead of going against, I'll go with who I want to win. So I'll say Luque.
Yeah, I'm going with Luque too, and I think he's going to finish it again. I think Bilal's style just kind of feeds into it, man. Bro, after the way that Luque dealt with Tyron Woodley in that last fight, which was a fucking beautiful fight for both guys.
Yeah,
whatever.
For Tyron.
I mean, yeah, he lost, but he went out on his shield, like you were talking about earlier. But man, I don't think that Belal lasts 2 rounds. I think that he's going to get submitted this time. I don't think he'll get knocked out. But he's a wrestle heavy guy, and Luque loves wrestlers. Every time these wrestlers pressure him, he does really well, in my opinion. I mean, his only losses in the UFC. You guys know who they're to? Well, on the Ultimate Fighter, he lost to some guy named Michael Graves. I don't know much about Michael Graves, but his 2 real losses in the UFC are against
Leon Edwards
and Wonder Boy.
Look at me.
But two guys who couldn't wrestle their way out of a wet paper bag.
But hold on.
Leon Edwards has really good wrestling.
And Bilal was getting at Leon.
I think that was like pretty close.
What?
It was real close, wasn't it?
I had Bilal getting off, man. I thought Bilal was going crazy, and then that eye poke happened.
You think it was on purpose? I mean, it was a minute and 19 seconds. I mean, he's just a fast starter, but I don't know. I mean, right? A minute and 19 seconds?
Was it the first round? No, I thought that
maybe it was the second round. Second round. You're right.
Yeah.
Second round.
Bilal
So you thought he won the first round?
I thought he was going in.
Yeah. I don't know. I see this being tailor-made for Luque to get a win against another up-and-coming guy, and then he's right there for a title shot, or at least a contender fight. What's up, Ben? Ben, you all right? Oh, I thought you were doing like he's throwing up gang signs at me. I thought something was wrong. Thought maybe there was like getting ready to be a drive-by on my house or something.
He was hitting you with that Chappelle. Wrap that shit up. Wrap that shit up, dude.
Let's wrap it up. Let's go. All right. Well, anybody else have anything else to say?
Y'all was talking shit about WrestleMania Backlash, and I don't appreciate that shit. I like a lot of the matches on that card.
That's a weak card, bro.
About that.
I don't think I saw the card. Did I miss that part of the message?
I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you what I put, Ben, because you must have missed that part of the message. But look, I mean, this is what I said. So far, the matches that are confirmed are Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, and Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. And
I quit match. I like that.
And then most likely, besides that, you're going to get AJ versus either Edge or Damian Priest, Roman versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Omos versus Lashley, Ezekiel versus Owens, and RK Bro versus the Usos.
RKO versus Usos is good. Charlotte and Ronda is good.
Okay.
What was the first one?
Sonya Deville versus
not Bianca and Sonya Deville.
Oh, a rematch with Cody and Seth.
Cody and Seth re-up is good. I like the storytelling for Omos and Bobby as long as Omos goes over now with MVP in this corner.
Mm-hmm. So you like Owens versus Ezekiel? I mean, that's a Monday Night Raw match.
Yeah,
you like Shinsuke versus Roman?
No.
Exactly. You like what was the other one?
I love Shinsuke versus Roman. Fuck
yeah.
Not for how you know it's about to go. If they had built Shinsuke and Shinsuke was going to win the match, yeah, but he's going to get fucked up.
Exactly. And then like
true.
AJ versus Edge or Damian. I got a feeling they're going to change his name to either Priest or Damian. I don't know. I'm feeling like they're going to do that. They're going to stop calling him Damian Priest and switch it to one or the other. Although, did you on Raw? You guys don't watch Raw much, do you? Nico, you watch Raw usually, don't you?
Come on, man. I watch them both religiously. I don't miss.
Bro, did you hear the other night when Corey Graves was talking about Damian Priest and he said something like he's got a lot of experience with punishment. I thought that was kind of a cool little. Yeah, he said that.
Martinez.
Yeah,
I like that Xavier's new finisher is the backwoods because it's a quick roll up.
Yeah, that's pretty
awesome.
Like
that.
What do you think was going on the other night with the purple light and all that in Damian's match versus Edge?
It's like you said, they're trying to make Edge the taker, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's literally like what you said. As soon as I saw that, as I saw that, I was like, "Fucking Will, man, that's something."
Hey, and you know, Ben had said that he had seen something or whatever that Rhea Ripley was going to join that little faction she is next week.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, she is. Because look, even they basically told you that because her and Liv, they've been kind of like disagreeing about things or whatever. And then Corey Graves goes, "Oh, they're getting the title shot next week," and they show the thing, and Corey goes, "But let's see if they could get along enough to win the title." She's gonna turn on Liv next week and join that faction, which is cool. I mean, I don't, I kind of like it when there's, a chick with the guys, whatever, kind of like what was the thing that Nikki ASH was in before with Alexander Wolf and the two other guys?
Sanity,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a cool thing when you got like
Blade
a
the
woman.
Butcher and Bunny over at AEW.
Yeah, I think it's cool. to
China
have-
with DX,
China and
There you
DX. Yep.
like later on, you know what I mean? Like when
Yeah,
she
and bro,
actually wrestled.
Rhea Ripley is like, she's solid and a good sized chick that she could do, you know, some of the stuff like they were doing with China. So I think it's a good fit.
Yeah, well, for whatever reason, WWE hates the intergender shit, so
So stupid.
they really don't like it.
Bro, that's crazy. That's funny. Anyway, but yeah. Anybody else have anything else to discuss tonight before we take it to the house?
Nope. I'm good.
Nico, I
I
just
don't
figured
think
out
so.
that came with my figure. It was stuck in the box.
Man, I hope my card that I bought offline shows up soon.
What card?
I got this.
That was the
So
other one.
I'm part of this group that they just do random card auctions, and you bid on these cards and you win them.
Oh yeah.
I got a Natalia. It's like an autographed card, Natalia card, and it's got like a piece of the canvas from one of the Money in the Bank pay-per-views, like in the
nice.
card.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, shit, that seems like a pretty neat thing to buy. You know, not that I'm like a ginormous Natalia fan, but I was like, that's pretty cool.
It's got like the little splotch of the canvas. I got you.
Yeah.
Nice. That's what's up. Cool. All right, Nico, you ready to take it to the house? You haven't done that in a while.
Oh man, damn! It's the first one in a long time, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, pimps and hoes, you've been watching the Fight God show.
There's no need to adjust your screen. That's for sure.
All right, we out, man. Peace.
That's it. Oh, Nico, boo, man. I don't have my sound effects anymore, but boo.
Boo, boo.
Nah, man, he stole it from me, man. We out of here, man. Y'all took it.
Hey, we'll see you guys next week with Paul Tyler from BKFC, from Bare Knuckle Management. You guys be good. Peace out.